Steve Rogers' story gets significantly overhauled as Captain America's modern history is rewritten. Captain America's arc is unique in that it can be divided very clearly into two parts. The first half is his golden age, his period of wartime heroism where he fights Hydra and the Nazis alongside Bucky Barnes and the invaders as a living symbol of Allied resistance in World War II. The second half is his re-emergence in the modern heroic age, when he wakes up from the ice to find himself a man out of time, forced to lead the Avengers in a high-tech world of gods, aliens, and complex global politics. Captain America's two-part history provides Marvel with an elegant, built-in solution to the challenges of its sliding timeline. For most heroes, Marvel constantly needs to update their origins to match the real world. Captain America and Bucky remain entirely immune to this continuous retconning, as their foundational roots are permanently tied to World War II. To keep the character relevant to the modern day, Marvel never needs to alter the war Steve Rogers fought in, but simply extend the decades he spends asleep in the Arctic ice. Steve Rogers' return from the ice also presents many exciting scenarios where Captain America wakes up in a world that's completely foreign not only to him, but to the readers as well. Captain America wakes up in the year 2099. What if? Captain America #1, written by Mark Guggenheim, art by Sumit Kumar. Marvel has announced a new wave of What If comics for 2026, including What If? Uncanny X-Men, which wonders what would happen if Cassandra Nova killed Professor X, and What If? Runaways, which wonders what would have happened if the titular team had never run away. Most notably, What If? Captain America presents an alternate timeline where Steve Rogers wakes up in the futuristic year of 2099 instead of the modern day, pitting the Star-Spangled Avenger against a world that not even the regular Avengers could fully understand. Marvel's 2099 reality isn't a single timeline. All stories set in or around the year 2099 are a sprawling collection of distinct futuristic universes that have evolved significantly since the imprint's inception in 1992. While the most famous iteration is Miguel O'Hara's Earth 928, Marvel has introduced various other versions, such as the Marvel Knights 2099 or Earth 2992, the Time Storm reality or Earth 96099, and even an amalgam 2099 or Earth 12772. These realities are often rewoven or replace. For instance, the 2019-2099 Alpha event established a unified Earth 2099, which Wada the Watcher described as a combination of previous iterations. What if? Captain America is one of the few what if? Stories that may actually become canon. Steve Rogers waking up in 2099 is bound to happen someday. Unlike stories set in medieval times or distant galaxies, 2099 is a literal destination that the Marvel Universe and the real world are steadily approaching. As decades pass in our reality, the present day of Marvel's Earth 616 must eventually catch up to the cyberpunk era of the late 21st century. Inevitably, Marvel's main Captain America will actually wake up in the year 2099, and Tony Stark, Peter Parker, Bruce Banner, and the Fantastic Four will become superheroes around that time. Curiously, what if? Captain America is a legitimate preview of where Marvel's primary canon is headed in approximately 73 years. In current 616 canon, Steve Rogers' awakening in the present day has already slid from the 1960s to the 2020s. Likewise, Frank Castle now participates in the fictional Saigon War instead of the Gulf War and originally the Vietnam War. The Fantastic Four originally get their powers during a mission at the height of the real-world space race, and currently, their origin story takes place around 2010. Eventually, most the heroic age will take place around 2100, and Steve Rogers may wake up to see a world that only Miguel O'Hara and his fellow 2099 heroes and villains used to inhabit.